The following is a presentation of Studio Audrain, powered by the Mexico Ledger.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday morning sports show at Slumberland, live here in Mexico, and the Mexico Ledger powering our show this morning. I'm Matt Pilger, your host, and we are excited to get a lot of sports talk going this morning. Local sports talk. High school district playoffs got started last night. Want to start off there with some scores. Mexico Bulldogs coming from behind and defeating the Kirksville Tigers 28-21 in overtime. Centralia Panthers dominating last night against Versailles 56-12. North Callaway falls to Father Tolton 38-6, and of course Vanfar not playing last night, but they'll play on Friday night next week, and they'll be taking on Crystal City. Mizzou has a bye week this week and getting rested up, and we'll see how the rest of the season goes there. Kansas City Chiefs with a big game on Sunday, as a matter of fact, against the Buffalo Bills. They'll be traveling there to take on Josh Allen. We'll see how things turn out there. But that brings us to our first guests on the show this morning. From the North Callaway School District, we have the Activities Director, Mr. Dale Long. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
And we also have football player Hunter Long here, sophomore. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Glad to have you guys in here. We're going to start off with Dale. You are the first-year Activities Director at North Callaway. Talk to us a little bit about your job and your role there, and how's it been going? I know you guys had an awesome football season.
Appreciate that. First year at North Callaway this year. I've been an athletic director. This is my 9th year as an athletic director. Been at a couple different schools. Came from Butler. I was there for the last 3 years, and before that I was at Owensville. But North Callaway's been a great place for this first year so far. Glad we're here and glad that we've been incorporated into the community quite well, and a lot of community support there, so it's been going really, really well.
No doubt about it. You're also an assistant coach on the football team. I was looking at that district, and my goodness gracious, what a tough district that was. Father Tolton, a very tough team. Kind of talk a little bit about last night's game a little bit.
Well, obviously last night didn't go as well as we were hoping to go. But, Father Tolton, they have a good team, good quarterback there. I mean, they play really, really well and really, really tough. They're very well coached. Our kids played tough last night, just didn't come out and ended the way we wanted it to end. But the team was good. We had a really good season. I think we went 8-2 on the year. Had a lot of good things happen this year. A lot of good players, and kind of stinks for our seniors the way it ended, the way it did. But hats off to them. A lot of good leadership from this team this year. They led the group really, really well.
Absolutely. Hunter Long, we want to bring you into the conversation here. Sophomore, as a matter of fact, I believe that you're on the offensive line. Is that correct?
Yes.
Talk a little bit about your role on the team, if you will.
My role is trying to get the team to stay together and trying to keep everybody as one team and one focused group, trying to get everything moving forward.
Absolutely. You guys had a nice run there with 50 points or more for about 3 games in a row. A lot of protection for your quarterback there. Talk about your fellow offensive lineman giving protection to your quarterback.
As I said before, it's one big group effort, so
you did fine, man. You did a wonderful job. What were some of the highlights of the season for you?
One of the highlights was beating South Callaway, our first game for the Callaway Cup.
Absolutely. Are you looking forward to next season, and do you play any other sports?
Yes, I am looking forward for the next football season, and I do wrestle during the winter.
All right. What weight class are you going to be in?
Most likely 215.
Okay. So that'll be getting started up soon. Do you go right into wrestling from football?
Usually, yes, I do.
All right. We're going to look forward to that. This is your first interview, as a matter of fact, isn't it?
Yes.
All right. Well, you're doing great so far. Let me just put that out there. Dale, we're going to come back to you, kind of looking into winter sports as they're going to be getting going. Kind of talk a little bit about your teams there.
Yep. Our basketball season's getting ready to start, so is our wrestling season. Winter sports start Monday. Basketball, boys and girls, and then girls wrestling. Boys wrestling will start November 10th. Looking to have a pretty good year for both of them as well. I mean, this fall we had a great year in all aspects of it. District cross country is going today. Hopefully we have a good turnout there. Have 3 runners competing in that, and hoping that's going to go well for them. Softball season ended great this year. Conference champs, volleyball season ended great this year. It was conference champs. They actually won their first district game in school history, which is really good. And then obviously, like I said, football. So we're hoping to carry that momentum going into winter sports as well. Basketball season is going to probably be looking pretty good, and then wrestling season we're looking like to have a lot of success as well. Got a lot of kids coming back for that.
All right, we're getting excited. We're getting geared up for winter sports. Great football season, guys. Want to congratulate you on that. And Hunter, since you're wrestling, we're going to have to bring you back for your second interview here in a couple of weeks. So
Yeah.
You got the first one under your belt. You did fine.
Yep.
All right. Best of luck to you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Mr. Dale Long, Mr. Hunter Long from the North Callaway School District. And we do want to thank our sponsors here, our studio sponsors, Slumberland Furniture of Mexico, also the United Credit Union, the Weber Family of Pharmacies, the Arthur Center Community Health, the Mexico School District, and the Community R6 School District. Without those guys, this is not possible. And we want to bring our next group of guests. As a matter of fact, representing from Community R6 in here this morning, we have KaTavyn Wheeler. I want to say good morning to you, sir.
Morning.
We also have Caden Thomas. And we have the baseball coach and the basketball coach. He wears two hats, as a matter of fact, Mr. Chris Ellersieck. And I want to say good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Thanks for getting up early, coming out here. We're gonna start off with you, Chris. You've got two roles there. Talk a little bit about how you balance all of that, and this is going to be your first year with the Community R6 School District, correct?
Yeah. It is my first year with Community R6, and the balancing act has really just been show up and work as hard as you can. Come every single day, come with the attitude of getting better, and just try to do your best so that you leave the next day, or that day and the next day knowing that you're in the right position to compete. And so that's been the recipe, is just go to work.
Absolutely. Talk to us a little bit about where you've come from. I think you've got some coaching experience in college as well.
Yeah. So I spent 3 years as an assistant at Lincoln University, and I spent 3 years as an assistant at Moberly Area Community College for a guy named Pat Smith, who's a Hall of Famer and has done a great job with that Moberly Greyhounds program. So I was lucky to have some tutelage from some really great coaches.
No doubt. We want to get into basketball season. We can't hardly wait for it to get started. KaTavyn, we're going to start off with you. You are a sophomore point guard. How long have you been playing basketball, and kind of your thoughts going into the basketball season?
I've actually been playing basketball since third grade and up. I actually started a little bit younger, but I've been playing with the school since about third grade. This year, I think it'll be good. We got a new coach, and I think we'll work together this year and do a lot better.
Absolutely. Caden Thomas, you're a junior guard. How long have you been playing basketball, and your thoughts about the upcoming basketball season?
I've probably been playing since I was first grade, and then I think it's going to be a learning curve. I think we got to work as a team. We got to learn the new coach. We got to have chemistry and go from there.
Brand new system that you're bringing in to Community R6. Talk a little bit about what you want to instill in your players, coach.
Well, first and foremost, faith is at the root of everything that I do, and so it will be a cornerstone of our program. And then after that, it's really about hard work and toughness, coming with a willingness to compete every single day. We're going to try to be up tempo as we can, but sometimes at the small schools you don't have all of the horses that you need in order to run an up tempo style of play. So we'll mix in some delay games, and we'll mix in some different things that will help to make us competitive this year.
KaTavyn, let's talk about your game a little bit. What are you working on most? Defense, offense? Where are you sitting at on that right now?
I definitely work most on my defense because it's not as good as my offense is.
Coach likes
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I tell you right, Coach got some
defense and
bonus
rebounding right
points
there
for
at the top.
KaTavyn
Yeah.
right there. All right, Caden, what about your game?
I'm probably going to go defensive too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. How many folks have gone out? You mentioned it's kind of a smaller group in the smaller schools. How many folks have gone out for basketball this year?
Right now we've had 13 on our list that showed up at our last meeting, and I think that's 13 committed kids that are ready to really point this Community R6 basketball program in the right direction. I think there was a lot of learning experience from last year for these guys and some playing experience, so we can't really lean on the fact that we don't have any playing experience. A lot of these kids got minutes, and so they got an opportunity to play, and so we're going to try to do the best that we can to go out and just be competitive every day.
I know my son does travel ball and goes around everywhere. Do you guys participate in a little bit of travel ball, or do you get together at the YMCA, try and get some pickup games going? How do you keep your skills sharp in the off season?
I played travel ball. I used to play with your son.
Oh, okay.
In Phenom, and
Yeah.
then we went to another. We just my dad put it together a team. And we just went to like St. Louis and stuff like that, and we do those type of tournaments.
How do you feel about those? Sometimes in St. Louis area, Kansas City area, the competition is tough, but it definitely makes you better, right?
Yeah. My 7th grade year, I really wasn't that great, and then we went up to Kansas City, and we were losing a lot, but we were definitely learning, and it definitely showed my 8th grade year.
Absolutely. How have you been getting prepared for this upcoming season, Caden?
Just in the gym, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Putting in the time, putting in the work.
Yeah.
No doubt. When's the first game, Coach?
You know, I don't even look at the calendar. The first thing on my calendar right now is practice on Monday, and we're going to figure it out from there. We have a fan fest on the 11th, and then we have a jamboree on the 18th at Van Far, which I think Mexico Military will be a part of. I'm pretty sure Van Far is a part of that, and I think Sturgeon and us will be part of that group. So, yeah, I'm a deal with the play in front of you kind of coach. These guys will hear me say next play a lot this year, and so we just try to focus on the fire that's in front of us.
Very nice. Well, we want to say best of luck on your season. We want to have you guys on whenever the season gets up and going, have some more of the players come on and come out, and we certainly appreciate you guys getting up early on a Saturday morning.
Yeah, we certainly appreciate you having us out here.
All right, good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for stopping by from Community R6, the head coach of the boys basketball team, Chris Ellersieck, also sophomore KaTavyn Wheeler, and junior guard Caden Thomas. And we do want to thank our sponsors once again, our studio sponsor, Slumberland Furniture of Mexico. Come on out, stop out, and check out some of the great deals. United Credit Union, the Weber Family of Pharmacies, the Arthur Center Community Health, Mexico School District, and the Community R6 School District. And, well, you know what? We have a couple of cheerleaders joining our show here this morning because they're getting set to go and compete at the state competition, and we're going to have you guys introduce yourselves to the show here this morning.
All right. Well, my name is Samantha, and I'm a senior.
My name's Carly Stewart, and I'm also a senior.
Let's talk a little bit about this state competition. I'm not sure when the last time Mexico was competing at a state competition. Is this the first time that you'll be competing?
No, we normally go when we compete at regionals, but last year I think we took a gap year, and I think the year before that we did too. It was 2 years of a gap year.
We haven't competed since our freshman year, so we haven't been to state since then.
All right, it's been a couple of years. You're back. What are some of the goals for today? Are you nervous about going and competing at state? Is that in your head, or kind of are you just relaxed, ready to go and perform? You're ready for it.
I'm slightly nervous, but at the same time, I'm confident, and I know that we have the skills and the capability to pull off our routine the way we practice.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Everybody put a lot of hard work in, and really the goal today is just really to have fun because we know that we put in the effort, so that's all that matters.
Absolutely. Now, you'll be seeing competition from all over the state today.
Yes.
Do we know how many teams are competing there, or just multiple teams?
Too many.
Too many, as a matter of fact.
Too many.
What time does this start? It's at the Hearn Center, as I understand it.
Yeah, so it's in Columbia. So ours specifically in our district, we compete at 2, and then our awards are at 5.
Okay, so this is going to be an all-day thing. The send-off for you guys is going to be at the high school, and I think that is at 11:15.
Yes.
All right, so everybody invited to come out and send you off. Have you girls been in cheerleading like most of your lives?
6 years.
6 years
She's
for
been
you.
doing it for a while, and
Yep.
I've been doing it for 3 years.
All right. What does it take to be a cheerleader? Because I know the basketball players get up and they run up and down the court. But talk a little bit about preparation, how you get prepared and get in shape for the cheerleading season.
It has to do a lot with just like keeping your stamina up, because when you run through the routine many, many times, you have to be able to control your breathing and to be able to perform without looking like you're dying.
Yeah, I would also talk more about eating healthier because you got to fix what's within first before you can do things. Because if you're sitting there eating cheeseburgers other than, I don't know, maybe chicken and rice, it might be a little harder to do the normal things.
Yeah. Gosh, a cheeseburger sounds pretty good right now, but I know I shouldn't. So, listen, I want to wish you all the best of luck at state, and we'll keep our fingers crossed. Everybody go out and see them at 11:15 at the Mexico High School parking lot this morning, the send-off. Thank you guys for getting up early this morning and coming out.
Of course, thanks.
All right, good luck to you. We're going to bring on some more cheerleaders here. As a matter of fact, joining us now, coming in, is the head coach of Mexico Cheerleading, DeOnna Wieberg. We also have Janae Palmer, and we have River Carey joining us this morning. Coach, tell us a little bit about state. Are you excited to go? And, whenever you guys found out you were going to state, I watched the video and everybody was cheering, but kind of your thought whenever, your reaction to that whenever it was announced.
So we were super excited. We have not done competition for a couple of years, so getting back into it, I have a new assistant coach, Emily Dodd, this year, and she's been super helpful adding to it. But we were super excited because I wanted to give the girls, especially the seniors who, like I said, haven't been able to go to competition since freshman year, the opportunity to go to state. So we were super excited and super blessed to be able to have that opportunity.
Very nice. River, we want to bring you into our conversation here. How long have you been cheerleading?
I've been cheering for 3 years now. It's been pretty fun.
Been pretty fun. All right. Well, talk a little bit about what it takes to be a cheerleader. You know, all the time and effort that goes into that.
Well, even when you're tired, you need to have a lot of spirit and a lot of energy. And I mean, it's kind of hard to get tired when you're down there because, you know, all the stuff going on, people yelling, it's just a lot of fun.
No doubt. Janae, we want to talk to you a little bit. You're up on your feet for several hours whenever these games are going on. You're running, you're jumping, you're doing, backflips. Talk a little bit about what that takes to get prepared to be a cheerleader, if you will.
It takes a lot of dedication and motivation. Like, if you're not dedicated or motivated, you're not going to want to be there. You're not going to have fun. You're not going to enjoy it. And it's going to affect your whole team. It's a team effort thing. And if one person is in a bad mood or not willing to do what they need to do, then it's going to affect your whole team. So it's really like a team thing for everyone to have a good time.
I get nervous whenever I see somebody go up to the top and they're holding their feet, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's going to fall. How do you prepare for that? Has anybody ever been injured, or have you ever dropped anybody whenever that happens?
Yeah, it happens pretty often, not more than you think, but honestly, you just have to be ready and fight for it and try and catch as quick as possible. Like, sometimes, the flyer's going to slip through, but you got to keep going, like, if it doesn't hurt them too bad anyway. Right.
River, do you ever get flipped up in the air, or are you the one holding the folks?
I'm the one holding them.
Okay.
It's just, when your flyer's up in the air, you have to make sure you have a stable platform for them, because if not, they're, of course, they're going to feel unbalanced. And so a lot of the skills that you do and stuff, when you slip up, it's mostly because they're unbalanced in a way. So once everybody, gets, like, their exact hand placement, how they like it on their feet, it's like, everybody's all stable and it's all good.
Absolutely. I want to talk to you about the Fulton game, because I was in the stands watching this, and there was a bit of a cheer-off between you guys and the Fulton cheerleaders. Now, I'm going to say that the Mexico cheerleaders won that, but kind of talk a little bit about that. They were coming over and basically challenging you guys, and you guys responded, correct?
Well, yeah, we do this thing with almost all the cheerleaders that come to our football games. It's called Party, and it's like a really fun cheer to, like, get both student sections and both crowds involved with cheering, and it's just, like, something to do to interact with the other cheerleaders.
How's that party cheer go? Can you do that for us this morning?
With me?
Yeah.
So
P-A-R-T-Y, party, parties on our side. Where's the party? The party's over here.
And then they say the again, and we keep going and see who's louder.
Very nice. Well, the party is going to be at the Mexico High School parking lot this morning as they send you off to the state competition. thank you guys for coming out, and best of luck at state today.
Thanks for having
Thank
us.
you.
Our Mexico cheerleaders going to state this morning, and we want to thank head coach DeOnna Wieberg, seniors Carly Stewart, Samantha Smith, Janae Palmer, River Carey for all coming out this morning. Go check them out at 11:15 as they head over to Columbia at the Hearn Center to compete for a state championship. We want to thank our studio sponsors once again here on the Mexico Ledger Saturday Morning Sports Show. Slumberland Furniture of Mexico, our sponsor here. We've got a nice backdrop from Slumberland Furniture. Also, United Credit Union, Weber Family of Pharmacies, the Arthur Center Community Health, Mexico School District, Community R6 School District. Thank you to all of our sponsors. And we want to bring in the head coach of the Mexico football team, Steve Haag. Man, oh man, I've been celebrating that win from last night. I know that you have to get prepared for the next week, but you know, you guys started off really nice last night, 7-0, and then kind of fell behind to Kirksville at half. What was that like in the locker room? What were you saying to your players at halftime?
Well, I think that, like you said, I think that they were fired up, and we got a good start to the game. And then it just seemed like they did a pretty good job keeping us off balance, and had some, there at the end, we have the muff punt, and they're able to score. And, when you kind of get those quick, scores, it kind of, you kind of get down a little bit. And I think we were down a little bit in the locker room, and it just comes down to, we have another half of football. You gotta say, are you going to fold, or are you going to go out there and battle? And, as I told the guys, it's a great life lesson, man. You don't know if you're going to win or lose, but you always got to keep swinging, and you never know what's going to happen. And I think that we saw the momentum change about the third quarter, into the third quarter, and we were getting opportunities, got the turnover, getting opportunities, throwing the ball into the end zone, close to scoring, and just couldn't get it in there. And then at the end, where not our MO of throwing the football, you're not gonna, but Charlie made a great pass on first down to Caden Benny, and then we took what they were giving us, playing off of us playing some cover 3, and Caden was open, just little stop routes, and and then he's a good athlete, and made things happen, and then there at the end dove at the pylon to tie it up, and able to go into overtime.
Absolutely. Charlie Fisher passes for 94 yards last night, a touchdown pass to Caden Benny. Bryson Hammers has really stepped up as of late. Drew DeMent went down with that injury.
Mm-hmm.
Bryson scores the first touchdown of the game, rushes for 94 yards. Are you seeing his role increase a little bit on the football team?
Yeah, I think that he's a sophomore, and so the mistakes we see are sophomore mistakes, just not getting all that time, and just like the same mistakes we saw with the senior class when they were sophomores and getting a lot of time. You just do that, and so he's doing a great job running the ball. But kind of our motto is if you want to run the rock, you got to block, and so he's learning that. He's getting better, and we're continually working on that. And so last night did a good job at times, and at times made some mistakes, and because on the other side you got Corbin Dorsey who blocks well and runs well, and so you want to make sure that they're blocking for each other, because in our offense you really just don't know from game to game who's going to have the great game. And I thought both of them had really great games last night. Corbin getting the yards we needed, and then Bryson just has a little knack of finding some holes and getting through there and getting those extra yards.
Absolutely. 94 yards for Bryson Hammers last night. Corbin Dorsey 50 yards, and he also had a touchdown. Of course, Charlie Fisher rushing for 31 yards with the touchdown as well. Talk about these overtime games. My goodness gracious. Last year it was a double overtime victory against Kirksville at their place. Then last night, an overtime victory at Kirksville at Hawthorne Heights. What does that do for a coach's heart, is what I'm curious.
Well, I think we've had 3 overtime games in my tenure, and I think they've all 3 been against Kirksville. So, one on homecoming here a few years ago, and then that. Yeah, it's kind of weird the deja vu of how it ended up, but kind of a flip where we've kind of had control of the game last year, and they came back. Then we get into overtime, but we played 2 overtimes last year, but I think Leighton Hilderman caused a fumble last year, or he recovered it. One of those two things. It's been a year, and then this year it's in the first overtime, and the cause of the fumble, and then I think Dylan Aikman, our sophomore D lineman, came up with the ball. So haven't studied it that hard, looked at it a little bit, but I'll go back in and finish up stats probably this weekend. So, but yeah, it's just. It's fun. It gets you on the edge of the seat, get your blood pumping. I mean, it's in college, I think we might have been. I know we were one of the first teams to be in an overtime game at MU, and I think we ended up being in, 3 or 4 of them. So we got to be pretty good at what you want to do. And, with the Super Bowl, a few years ago with Kansas City, now everybody comes an overtime expert. You want to play defense first. You want to do all the stuff. So, that's good to kind of go over that stuff, although theirs is a little different than ours. I really like how Missouri does it. We've gotten pretty much the same as college, other than college has to go for 2. We never have to go for 2, so you can keep scoring and doing that stuff. But in college, they eventually have to go for 2. I think on the second time you can kick 1 field goal, but in the second overtime you got to go for 2. And then I think that then they continue to go for 2. I think one play, which is kind of weird. But
yeah.
They get the 25 yards like us, so I think it's a good way to kind of end that game and get a little excitement built.
High school football, you go into overtime, you get 2 minutes on each possession. And
no, there's no time.
There is no time.
No.
Okay.
You get the 25-yard line, and you go in. It's played like a game. You get a first down.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's no defensive scoring. So if you throw an interception, they blow it dead. The only score that's defensive would be a safety, but that'd be a heck of a safety because you're a long ways from the other end zone. And then you just flip, and then there's no coin toss again. You just go back to we would have got the choice. Kirksville got the choice, played defense. We would have got the choice on the second one, and we would have played defense. So you'd have played defense back to back. And so then the other person just and you could switch fields, which is a good thing in that overtime because we were having a little difficulty with our lights. They stayed on last night. So we could have went to the other end if they went out. So that was a good thing in overtime.
Coach, we're running out of time, but I just certainly appreciate you stopping by. It is Hannibal next week.
Mm-hmm.
That's always a big opponent. Real quickly, just kind of talk about going in and facing Hannibal at their place again.
Well, I mean, Hannibal's Hannibal, and we had our shot in week 4. I thought we had opportunities to kind of stretch that lead we had, and didn't take advantage of them. And then at the end, you just thought we got tired, and so we're gonna have to go back to the film. We know what they're gonna do if they need to move the ball. We just kind of know they go back to the old Hannibal ways, and we're just going to have to go there, put pencil to paper, and get a defense that can stop some of that running game that they have with that big offensive line. And so I think the guys will be up for the challenge. It'll be exciting. And as I tell the kids, bonus football. It's always
Absolutely.
fun.
Go out and watch the bonus football next week at Hannibal. Support the Mexico football team. Coach Haag, congratulations on the win. Thanks for stopping out.
Thank you.
Again, our studio sponsor, Slumberland Furniture, big thanks to them. Also, United Credit Union, Weber Family of Pharmacies, Arthur Center Community Health, Mexico School District, Community R6 School District. I'm Matt Pilger, and this has been another edition of the Saturday Morning Sports Show, live from Slumberland.